So this should be the final aspect of the fabrication stuff for the rotated setup on the STI. Kyle's doing some of the bracketry to support the up pipe and the down pipe right now and the weight of the turbo and everything like that. You need to have some type of support, or it's just very floppy without any type of support. It's kind of funny to flop it around a little bit. But what's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I probably won't be doing much today aside from giving like a helping hand and whatnot here and there, but we're making progress. So right now Kyle's knocking out the brackets for this guy, and as you can see one of them right there. So it's using the stock location bracket where the old up pipe bracket connected to, and then down there there's another one that we're going off of just to support the up pipe. With just that one that's already tacked on there, already feels 100 times stronger than it did before. With two of them on there, this thing ain't gonna go nowhere. Once these guys are made up, I think, are we doing dump tubes after that? Well, dump tube, only one. Then we're gonna be doing the dump tube off of the wastegate going down. The big thing, if you guys are doing this, even with like Grimspeed up pipes or PLM, make sure that the dump tube clears that axle. The last thing that you guys want is to melt your axle with hot exhaust. I've seen it happen too many times. I've seen people follow some of the instructional videos that I've done, and somehow the dump tube is pointing straight at the axle. If yours is, I would just correct it so that way you don't melt your axle boot. Yeah, so randomly enough, Kyle and I were like looking at Matt's engine bay, judging things a little bit, and we noticed like Matt always said his engine bay is bigger because this generation Outback did come with a 3. I think it was just a 3.0, the Easy 30, and it's like,
yeah, it's like an inch and a quarter. His shock towers pushed further back.
Yeah, so he has like an extra inch and a quarter of room for if I'm gonna say if he ever goes rotated, he'll have more room than us. So this is actually pretty neat. The way that Kyle's making these mounts for the up pipe is he's using this rod, and then he just obviously just props the blowtorch right up on the material, lets it get super hot, sticks this socket over it, and then it just bends like butter. You don't even have to heat that up for that long.
No. It's just, if you don't heat it up, then it makes the bend larger.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want like a larger contour of a bend, then don't heat it up. But the more you heat it up, the tighter the bend radius is going to be.
What is this for?
It's an exhaust hanger.
Oh.
Looks nice.
The Weld?
Looks nice.
Dude, is blinding. I swear.
Looks...
God damn it, dude, I do it every time.
That hurts?
Yeah.
I got bad eyes or something, dude.
Yeah, you live with your contacts in.
Yeah.
Dude, that literally came out beautiful. The mounts for it. So both of those mounts right there. Dude, is it still hot?
Yeah.
Yes, it's still hot as fuck. So both of those mounts right there will bolt up to the stock location in here. So now that we have the up pipe's done. Like there's nothing else that needs to be done to the up pipe at this point. So that can go back in the car permanently. Yeah. Permanently and go back in the car. Next up is downpipe supporting bracket. So the downpipe supporting bracket's just gonna go to the same spot that the stock one did, underneath of the car, off of the transmission. There's a hanger that supports the downpipe. But I got something here. What is this? Stop! Oh, we got the bungs and the IAT sensor. We got the IAT. So we just got the bungs for the IAT sensor. I got two of them. Matt will probably use the other one on his rotated setup. But got new IAT sensor. So this is the exact same one that you get from Visconti Tuning when you order from them. Like the one on the left is the one I got from Visconti. The one on the right is the one that I just ordered. They're both the same sensor, same thread pitch, same electrical style, same everything on these. The only difference is the tip size or the tip color. The old one that I had, the threads on it just got fucking mangled, if it'll focus. Like they just got mangled, and I just don't want to shove that back in there. So that one can go in the trash. We'll replace it with that new one, get a bung on there, and then we'll have our IAT. That's how you make things work. Just gotta hit it with your purse. Before I go to throw this IAT sensor in, all of that red like sealing goop on there, I'm gonna take that off because I'm pretty sure that's what screwed up my old sensor. This old sensor had that also, and trying to thread it into these bungs, it just does not want to thread in nicely. So I'm just gonna cut off, or I'm just gonna scrape off all the red goop on there. We'll put some like thread sealing tape on there with some thread paste, and actually get that thing sealed up, because I don't want to mangle the threads on that again. Bro, this mount is so strong over here. Like, it literally shakes the entire car. Shake it. Come on, dude, shake it. The mount is literally not moving.
My hand hurts. That's all I got.
Oh, I thought you had more.
My hand hurts.
So dump tube is all fabbed up in here and looks killer. What is the best way to see it? I guess like right there. You can see how the dump tube kind of routes down there, so it's not going to shoot anything at the axle. It's away from everything else, so it won't melt anything. Everything just fits so perfectly. Like, we have great clearance. The turbo and the intake manifold don't touch. Although they look close, they don't touch at all. Good clearance between the turbo and the strut tower as well. Everything is just spot on. Wastegate location, that is the best location for a wastegate, because if I ever have to swap out springs in that thing, it's gonna be so easy. We can just either pop the cap off that thing or just get to the V-band right there and just take the whole thing off. Just fits so perfectly. I still need to clean up the rest of this powder coat off of the AMS logos on the manifold still, which I'll probably do later, but this thing's coming out killer. Yes, look at that. Everything fits so perfectly in here. Dude, it couldn't be any better. Hey, I gotta do stuff to help, so I gotta drill a hole. But I've been using the drill press today for the first time. That's actually not grinding valve buckets, and it definitely makes life a lot easier to drill like actual holes where you want them instead of doing with a hand drill, because whenever I do a hand drill, like, it's all over the place. So today I need to keep going on the 05. Although we have our turbo kit built and on the car, I have to take it off the car. There's a couple reasons why I have to take it off the car. A, I need to take some product photos of that turbo kit. You guys have wanted that turbo kit, so we are teaming up with Fuse and Kyle to bring you guys those turbo kits. It's gonna be an up-pipe, down-pipe combo with an assortment of options: V-band, 3-bolt, 2-bolt, 38, 44 millimeter external wastegate, whole bunch of stuff. You guys will see it. It'll be live on the website here probably in the next week or so. I think we're starting out with 5 kits. If those 5 kits sell, we're gonna do more. So we'll start with 5 and go from there. So today we were on the hunt for a T4 gasket for this. I ordered one, but I wanted one today so that way I could get this turbo installed on the car permanently. So we were able to find one T4 gasket locally. I've got another one coming via Amazon that'll be here in a couple of days, but I wanted to get this knocked out today. So, oh, and Kyle got us this dope titanium hardware for the up pipe. That'll probably be another option for the turbo kits for those of you that do want them. We may include a dump tube option as well. I'm gonna have to talk with Kyle on that one, but I don't see that being an issue. So first things first, let's get this downpipe out of the car. Like I said, it comes apart in 2 pieces, so I'm gonna have to unbolt the rear section from the cap back, unbolt the front section's just held in on the stock exhaust hanger down there. So we'll get both of those out, then we'll get this up pipe out. All of this comes out super easy. The up pipe utilizes the stock bolts back there. I also need to get the oil feed fitting in right there. So let's start by getting this turbo kit off, get it set up over there, and then we can start installing everything permanently. Well, there's also some little stuff we need to take care of, but I'm still waiting on parts like an atomizer for the boost controller. This power steering wire got a little like mangled, and some other things here and there, but let's start with this for now. Coming your way. Down through the bottom. It's down there. Slide it out. Got it. Alright, downpipe's out. The dump tube for the external wastegate. And this is the wastegate. So I've got the entire turbo kit pulled out right now. So this is pretty much everything that the kit will consist of if you guys are interested. So this is the front half of the downpipe that goes to the turbo on that end, V-band on the other end to the rear section of the exhaust. Now for those of you that are thinking like catted, catless, catless is obviously going to be for off-road use only. Well, catless will be for off-road use only, but catted options will probably have a cat somewhere right here, and then that O2 bung will probably be moved up a little bit more. For the up pipe, as you guys can see, that up pipe is universal. It'll fit on any EJ for the most part. Actually, it will fit on any EJ, which is nice. So if you guys are just looking for like a rotated up pipe, we may have this just as an option also with the available titanium hardware. But honestly, Kyle did such a killer job. We have the 2 mounting support spots for the external wastegate, or for the up pipe as well. So let me get all of this set up. We might make that dump tube right there an option as well. I'll talk to Kyle about it, but let me get all this set up. Let me get some like product photos of this. We'll get this installed back on the car permanently now that we have our T4 gasket right here. I am going to powder coat this today too. I think I'm going to powder coat it Porsche silver, the same silver that we did on the brakes down there, just so everything matches. And then at some point when I get a big enough oven, I'll powder coat this Porsche silver, and we'll probably do the intake manifold black at some point. But for now, let me knock this out. So I've got all of this. I took product photos of it all, so that way you guys can see it all on the website and everything like that. But just to give you guys a better representation, turbo goes there. Downpipe, it looks like a standard Subaru downpipe for the most part, except it's V-band. We have one O2 bung right there. We have the secondary O2 bung there. We've got our dump tube and then our up pipe. So now that I've gotten all this, I'm gonna get this turbo kit installed in the car permanently. I'm gonna start by getting the up pipe back in with its gasket down there, get it all tightened down. Once the up pipe's in, we'll get the dump tube and the external wastegate put back on, get the downpipe with the turbo on there, and then we can start doing some of the other stuff. I need to make the turbo return, or the drain, going back down to our block down there on that dash 10 AN fitting. I just want to wrap up all the smaller stuff so that way once we get the base tune, we can just load it on and hopefully start it up. I'm scared to start this car for the first time because I don't know what's going to happen. I've never built an engine before, so this will definitely be a little scary and a little interesting. But for now, let's get this turbo kit back on. What? It's what? I was going to get the up pipe in, and I found one issue that we'll address in the next revision of those turbo kits, or you guys could just do this solution. So I was using the IAG oil feed line for the turbo and the AVCS. Now what I'm doing is I'm running an oil feed from the back of the head right there. It goes up and then it goes to the AVCS, and I've got this fitting, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a stock oil feed fitting with a dash 4 adapter on it. So the oil feed will go from that dash 4 adapter, wrap behind through the manifold, and then up to the turbo and feed the turbo that way. So now that I've got that small situation figured out, I get this up pipe back in. The biggest issue I was running into with that was that the hole for the mounting position is right there and right there for the up pipe, and the oil feed, the T came up and it wouldn't clear that. So we'll fix that in a later revision, but for the first 5, I think we're just going to run them like this. So if you guys are going to do oil feed, I would highly suggest doing it this way for now. Plus, we're going to be running an oil restrictor in the turbo anyway, so it's not a huge issue for us. Now we can get the up pipe back in. What? This way? Alright, so now that I've got the up pipe in, we need to make the oil drain from the turbo down to the back of the head, which shouldn't be too bad. We're going to be running a dash 10 line. So I'm going to get the turbo mocked up on here, crawl underneath the car, start like figuring out line length. Once I get line length figured out, it'll be super easy to get it on there, but let's get that figured out before we get the downpipe, the external wastegate, everything else on, just to make our lives a little bit easier. This is one of the things with these turbo kits, if you guys are considering this, is you have to figure out like the oil feed, the oil drain, how you want it all set up. It's pretty much just, it's a DIY kit. It's the best way I can describe it. Turbo's not going anywhere. Let me start figuring out this oil drain. I've got a couple dash 10 fittings I'm gonna play with. I think I'm gonna do a straight off of the turbo down to a 90 off of the back of the block, and then I'll put some heat sheathing over it. I'm gonna have to order some because I don't have any, but gotta do it. Alright, so I'm feeling pretty confident about this oil drain here. So I'm running a straight dash 10 AN fitting off of the bottom of the turbo up to a 45, which will go to the back of the block. Now, I am going to order some heat sleeve for this because this is going to be in a relatively hot area. I don't want that oil drain getting way too hot or potentially catching on fire. So I will be ordering a heat sleeve for that tonight. We can easily pull this back off and get to it if we need to. So let me test fit this on the car. I want to say this is about 18, I don't know, let me grab a tape measure actually. This is 16 inches of dash 10 line. I just pulled out a tape measure, double check and make sure. So let me get this thrown in the car. We'll test fit everything. If it all test fit up, we'll bolt it up. I'll throw the heat sleeve on there at a later point. I'll order it tonight. Whenever it comes in, we'll get it on. So let me make sure this fits. Your home, go on your home. Like that. All right, so turbo's on its home. I'm gonna throw one nut on just to hold it in place. I honestly don't think that could be any more perfect. With some heat sleeve over that, I think it's golden. It sucks that I have to take it back out because that was a pain in the ass to get in there, but I'm pretty happy with it. So that oil drain worked perfectly, and I'll show you guys that here in a second, but we just ran to AutoZone. I grabbed some of this DEI heat sleeve just to put over that oil drain because we don't want that oil drain getting insanely hot. We don't want it cooking the oil or anything like that. So I'm gonna get the turbo pulled back out, get that AN line off of the turbo, get this heat sleeve onto that oil drain, get it installed permanently. We'll throw in our T4 gasket and everything, get our downpipe back on, external wastegate, all that stuff. We should be able to have this turbo kit like permanently installed here shortly. It's just figuring out these smaller details to get everything to work properly. So you can see the AN line right there running under the turbo. So there's a straight fitting on that. This line is 16 inches long, wraps down behind the up pipe, if I can even show it, and then it goes down to the back of the head. So let me get the turbo pulled back out. We'll get that line wrapped up with some DEI wrap, get this thing permanently installed. Then we can get the downpipe permanently back on and everything else because I just want to get this thing like on there. I also want to powder coat those two pipes for over here tonight. Baby steps. Let's do oil drain first. So the turbo is in its place for good. It is bolted up. We have our gasket on there. One bolt right there is a huge pain to get to. So I think we'll rework that in fabs somehow. The turbo would just need to come over more. If you have a smaller manifold, it probably wouldn't be as bad, but the AMS manifold gets like right in the way. What we did is we used like a very long extension with a crow's foot and like it worked out to get in there. But we have the turbo mounted at this. This was the contraption that we used. We set it to loosen because we had to go in there like backwards and upside down to get it, but the turbo is mounted. I'm being like the test dummy for this rotated kit that we're going to be producing. So the first 5 will be like this kit. Keep that in mind, but we'll make revisions as we go down. It's still very possible. It's not the end of the world to install it that way. Just keep that in mind. We have our oil drain all sleeved up down there going to the back of the head on our dash 10 AN fitting. So now I'm going to get the downpipe permanently installed. That's going to be the easy part. So I'm going to get the O2 sensor put in the front section of the downpipe right there for my wideband. And then we'll get that section in, get it V-band up. We'll do it lightly so that way we can still rotate it. We'll bolt up the rear section to the rear cap back and then get that V-band on. It got dark again pretty quick. I forgot winter time's coming up, so it's like getting dark out so fast. So rest of the turbo kit is on. Let me show you guys. We're doing some other stuff literally right after that. I don't know why I'm like, I just want to do it all night. I just want to do it all right now. So it's a little dark, I do apologize, but our turbo is in. It is mounted up permanently. Downpipe is on back there, and the wastegate and dump tube is back on. So as you guys can see, the oil drain ended up working out perfect. It clears the downpipe, it clears the dump tube, and it clears the up pipe perfectly. With that heat sheathing on there, I'm not worried about it at all. I want to get the rest of the turbo kit at least done tonight. So I want to finish this charge pipe right here and the intake. So I am going to powder coat those. I'm going to powder coat those the same color we did the Brembos, which is that nice Porsche silver color. Now, I don't have the nicest powder coating machine. It's a Harbor Freight special, but it does get the job done and it does work, and it does give pretty good results if you do play with it a little bit. So I'm going to do that intercooler piping piece first. I just have this backdrop back here to keep some of the powder from going everywhere. Then we'll toss it in the oven, get that part baked, and then we'll do the intake piece. I'd like to do the other charge pipe up here the same Porsche silver color, but I just can't. I don't have an oven big enough to be able to do something like that, so maybe in the near future I'm able to do this one, but for the time being I can at least get those smaller ones done that I want to do. So let's powder coat. Because I'm a pleb and I don't have a full-size oven. There's literally powder coat everywhere, but I've got both of these parts done. So that one just came out. It's cooling down right now. Here is the intercooler pipe. Came out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it for a DIY in a tiny toaster oven with a really crappy powder coating machine. Pretty happy with it. Like, the results on it are actually not bad at all for what I can do. So let's get this thrown back in the car with the couplers, with the clamps, with the 90 right there. Get it put back in here permanently so that way Matt has a home. So right now Matt's homeless. For just 79 cents a day, you can help feed a Matthew.
Please. I like to eat.
So let's get this last little area put back together. Dude, there's no way in hell this intercooler piping is ever gonna come out on its own. That shit's so in there.
Bring it to the front.
Did that hurt?
No, it's aluminum. I have very successfully managed to completely demolish this half of the garage with powder coat, tavern and bar, snack mix, and miscellaneous other things. But the 05 is about ready to start. I need to order like 2 or 3 things tonight to get it there, but we're pretty much there. We're pretty much there. So as you guys just saw, powder coated the intake, powder coated that charge pipe right there. Like I said, I can't do that one yet. I don't have an oven big enough for that one. So also got the boost controller hooked up. Port 1 right here just goes down, it goes to a T, it goes to the turbo itself, and then it also goes to the lower port on the wastegate. Port 2 on the boost controller just goes to the top portion of the external wastegate, and then port 1 is going to vent to the atmosphere. So we believe that this is why my external wastegates don't have that laughing noise like most Subarus do, where you get on it, it's like, wah, Matt, your car does it. So I'm pretty sure that's why my wastegate sounds very constant whenever we're in boost. So boost controller's hooked up. Turbo kit is permanently installed at this point, not coming back out. The only things we have left to do here is we need to get oil feed done. So we need to get an oil feed line from here, wrap it under the manifold, have it come up, and then go to the top of the turbo. I'm waiting on the fitting to come in from Precision because I didn't even think about ordering that fitting. So that has shipped, it is on the way. I'm waiting on the atomizer for the boost controller. I need this power steering connector, which I'm probably just going to snag off of the 17's harness, and then I just have to redo the fuel lines. I'm just going to redo them all now just to get it out of the way. But aside from that, we just need a tune, and then we can hear this thing start for the first time. I am incredibly nervous. As you guys know, I've never built an engine aside from this one, so I'm very curious to... Well, I'm very nervous to hear it start. So, oh God, I'm so zoomed out. So that's all I got for you guys on this one. We're so close to starting the 05 and getting it running again, getting it back on the road, getting it to be a daily driver, and all the good stuff associated with Karama. I don't have a tune date quite yet set. I'm gonna call Surgeline as soon as they send over the base map and I get the car idling. I'm gonna go ahead and get the tune scheduled for the car. I'm estimating the car is gonna make around 650 wheel horsepower. That's what I've seen others make on this turbo on similar setups, not even Subarus, like other 4-cylinder cars. So I'm very curious to see how it actually performs. We'll find out. I feel like it is going to respond relatively quickly with the smaller AR that we have on that turbo, but incredibly happy. So these turbo kits, I will let you guys know when they get listed on the site. I've got to build the web page, get the product photos up there and whatnot, but it's coming, I promise. Give me like a week and it'll be on the web page. You guys can start placing your orders. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys on this one. I will be at IFO today when you guys are seeing this. So if you're out there and you see this video, come say hi if you find me. If not, I'll see you guys later. But anyways, if you like the video, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. Color of the day is Porsche Silver because we just powder coated Porsche Silver on some stuff. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be, one of these corners, no idea which one I'll put it in quite yet. But with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies.